having kids and worrying so much about, I wasn't there. Thank God for FaceTime. I was able to be a FaceTime dad. I would see everything through FaceTime and all the other dads were there. So that would drive me nuts. And I would literally drive back and forth from work every break I got. If I had an hour, I'd make 8 trips that were 40 minutes long. That was my record for one 24-hour. I did 8. Working a lot for someone else outside, it's rough. And a lot of people do it. And I know I could have kept doing it, but it definitely, looking back, was not the right choice. I believe we are where we need to be right now. That all happened, I guess, for us to do this. I wish it would have happened 10 years earlier, but we all wish that.
So do
But
we. Yeah, I
yeah,
wish
we're
that
gonna
too.
catch up.
This is an exciting call today because what we're going to talk about is how your life and your world can completely change. This works if you're single, this works if you're a married couple, but specifically if you have a husband and wife team working together. When one person takes the role of multiplier, they just work together as a team to make it happen. Just starting with real estate, how much can change in just a few years. And Vanessa and Anthony are an amazing role model and example within our community. They're a part of Icons. They do real estate investing and they have an active business. They are raising 2 kids. There is just so much we can talk to about them, with them today. Let's get started.
My background, I started off as a union iron worker in 2000 and did about 12 seasons and then switched to become a union longshoreman slash I was a crane mechanic, certified welder. So I had long experience with construction. So that's basically my background, those 2 jobs, and it was 2 very consuming jobs. It's real. You're doing a burr, you're doing a flip, you might have fees, so you need to work it out. And we believe now to start a business for yourself,
Yeah.
even if it's small. Our thing was to have something pay our mortgage at home. Like we wanted we both did, but that's my fear the house we live in, is it paid? So that was the initial goal for real estate in the business, was just to pay our mortgage, just in case I got sick, anything. And once we hit that, it was refreshing. I was more relaxed. And we were able to take the business and keep pushing it.
And it's so interesting how, like, when we feel whatever that safety is for you, everybody has different elements of what makes them feel safe. And for you, it was like, hey, as long as the mortgage is paid, if I'm set there, then I feel safe enough to take more risks and do bigger things. So whatever that is for you that makes you feel safe, once you are there, the amount of, like everybody talks about how you're risk averse, you will find yourself taking more and more risks and really tapping into that side of you that you didn't know existed. And that is why kids who have rich parents or who have a trust fund, they tend to take more risks because they feel safe in their finances, right? And then you think like somebody built a big business so fast. Well, yeah, because they had that financial safety. And so we're creating that for ourselves. You created that for you. And now you're taking risks and building bigger things. I love this so much.
Yeah, to that point, Palak, I had an ex-coworker talk about, like, you're not going to get a pension. I'm going to get a partial pension. They penalize you a lot when you leave early. But I just said we're doing our own pension for our kids. A house is a pension. The next house is a pension. And I got the weirdest look. But they knew I was right. And but I never thought like that.
Yeah.
You create your own property to pay your health insurance. We designated one for health insurance. The next one or the next 2 could be the pension or the life insurance. So there's ways to do it without working for someone else. But you could do it slowly, like we did.
Baby steps.
We did it. We did it slowly. I didn't just leave. We made sure everything was somewhat right, and then we went just all in. But
and you're only in the beginning phases of your journey. You're like new entrepreneurs. It's been less than 5 years for you guys. It hasn't even been that long. If you achieve this much in the beginning, the growth is exponential, you guys. When we're in it, we really are so hard on ourselves because we think that's how it's going to be permanently. But this is like, you literally just got your 4-year degree from college. Imagine, except you have a almost $5 million portfolio, 2 businesses, some passive income in that amount of time that somebody could get a 4-year college degree. You're just starting. You have 20 years ahead of you to build anything you want from all this skills that you're acquiring and learning, and pass them on to your kids. How incredible.
I love that part. We try to teach them like as much as you can, but like analyze a deal, or now the whiteboard with all the property, they're like, we own those properties. And it's like, yeah, I want that one. I'm like, yeah, that one's yours. But it just gets them seeing it, and we take them on property visits. So that part, I love that part. I love making them.
Yeah, our oldest is talking numbers now. He's learning loves Shark Tank.
Yeah.
He's like, can you guys go on Shark Tank? I'm like, no.
He was telling us for our business, he thinks we have like
startup.
He wants us to go on Shark Tank and sell our business.
How cool would that be?
But yes, that would be cool. Yeah, not yet, I told him. But you get to have those thoughts when you're running something on your own. You can make it whatever you want.
Yes. I don't know. I don't think that a pension is enough of a hope to sacrifice your entire life for.
That's how I felt. And they do it in a way that it's the more years you work, I would have to hit a certain number of hours for that year, and I would earn
Yeah.
a pension credit, and you just
Yeah.
have to get more money.
Yes.
So
Oh, I
you're
see.
trading time for money. And I didn't even know of that. I didn't even knew what that meant. I just knew to work and I would get a paycheck. So you get stuck in that, oh, okay, now I got 15. I'm going to retire with 35 years of service and you could figure out your pension. But it's never enough. It's not set up to be wealthy when you retire.
It was impacting your health. I think that's
Yeah.
something
That-
you just
yeah.
can't trade anything for, basically.
It was-
That's like, what are you going to do about that, right?
Like that was kind of like a bittersweet moment. Like
That's
that's
what-
like I don't know what you kind of call that moment. Aha moment.
I was
or-
breaking down from having kids and worrying so much about I wasn't there. I would be on a
Missing
video.
out.
Thank God for FaceTime. I was able to be a FaceTime dad. I would see everything through FaceTime and all the other dads were there. So that would drive me nuts. And I would
Mm.
literally drive back and forth from work every break I got. If I had an hour, I'd make 8 trips that were 40 minutes long. That was my record for one 24-hour. I did 8. So it started getting no sleep, sleeping at work. And health, 100%. It just ruined everything. We were fighting because there was no money coming in. I would work a week, be home a week. And I took every test on earth and it was stress and it was the worrying. As soon as I calmed down, as soon as I started real estate and I was still full time, I totally changed. And I figured out that I had to do good at work so that everything else would be good in my life. I couldn't go to work grumpy because I'm going to get stuck there and then the real estate would work. I had to be happy at work because I had this new thing, real estate, happening. And
Yes.
it worked for a while, but then it was still, now I'm running to real estate and work. And health was the main thing. And I would break down. I would be sick for a month. So when Vanessa worried, and that's when we have to do something else.
Mhm.
There was no other second choice, really. She wanted to get another degree, like she said earlier, but I was totally against it. Not for any particular reason, just I thought there was something better. And
Mhm.
the real estate, that was it.
It was like a no-brainer.
Yes.
How
Yeah,
interesting.
no.
Yes.
Working
So
a
good.
lot for someone else outside, it's rough. And a lot of people do it. And I know I could have kept doing it, but it definitely, looking back, was not the right choice. I believe we are where we need to be right now. That all happened, I guess, for us to do this. I wish it would have happened 10 years earlier, but we all wish that.
So do
But
we. Yeah, I
yeah,
wish
we're
that
gonna
too.
catch up. We'll catch up somehow.
Yeah. And I feel like so I know some people who got into real estate when they were 21, 22, that age group, which is like 12, 15 years younger than when I started. And when I talk to them, they talk about how they approach real estate investing very differently. And it has been very hard for them to break out of that kind of mindset because when they first started, they didn't think of real estate as wealth. When you're in your 20s, you're invincible. You don't think about wealth building. You're thinking about like, how can I make a buck here, a buck there? And so when I talk to them, even like we're the same age now, and they talk about how it's still very hard for them to make a shift to being the CEO of the business because they never had a job in the past. So they don't really have any exposure to that. So I think there's some advantages to how people like us did it, where we started a little bit later. I think we know what the other side could look like. Maybe that's
I think it helped a lot now that you say. I got a lot of
Yeah.
experience with with construction that's helping now. So
Yeah.
I think you're right. You get to see the real world a couple of years and then start.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wrong
Yeah.
with that, with starting later.
Yeah.
But you always wish you did. It's just a weird,
Yes.
just like kids. I wish I had kids younger, but it's all those things.
Mhm.
All of it. Yes. Agreed. This is not where I thought this was going to go. I had a series of very specific questions for you guys, but this is so
Sorry.
much more fun.
Sure.
No, it's so good. It's so good. That's the whole point of having these conversations because we really just want to hear from you guys and like just hear about your story and how you were thinking and are thinking. And it's just so good. Let me ask you, what was the biggest shift that you had to make to get that first deal?
Yeah. So he was working a lot. So I would drive. Obviously, I wanted to invest in my own backyard. So I was trying to force neighborhoods
In New Jersey,
in New
where we
Jersey
live.
to work.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So I wasted a lot of time doing that. Then I would drive to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, because I just fell in love with it. It was great, but we missed the mark on that town.
She would drive by herself and just go to addresses and neighborhoods.
Yeah, I would knock on people's doors. I would ask them questions about the neighborhood. I would see old timers outside and, hey, are you looking to sell anytime? And it would be like, yeah, I am actually. You want to come take a look? And I would walk in the house and check it out. And I would just do crazy stuff. Then Philadelphia was
COVID hit, right?
Vanessa, I did not know you, but this is us. I think, Vanessa, you and I have very similar personality, the hustle personality. Not everybody's like
No.
that. Nidhi often tells me that if I had to do it, I would not have done it that way at all. We're all so different. So, we just own it. So keep going.
Yeah, it's impulsivity sometimes can get you in trouble, but
In
Yes.
Bethlehem, we started making offers and we were a little too late. So our first,
A lot of offers
maybe 18 or 12, I forget which number,
in the beginning.
in Bethlehem. And our one problem was not leaning, we were new to portfolio. So we were still not fully committed, not committed or trusting, because we had that old school mentality. So we weren't asking for as much help. And it was like everyone's in Philly. So it was like, okay, we're not going to Philly. We started searching everything, and it was like she did Bethlehem. Where else?
And that's it. It was Kingsburg, it was Bethlehem, and then I invested so much time and energy in those two towns. I'm like,
We
I
went
think
on the
it'd be silly
program
for
and
me to
started
do
looking. We knew Palak and Nitty were in Philly, and we said, all right, there's got to be something good there. Let's try Philly. So our main issue in the beginning for that first deal was timing with the market moving, and we weren't fast enough and confident enough. And we didn't lean on the group. Like we didn't look into like we would do now. Like if we switched and go and would move our neighborhood, we would do research before, and we would be like, oh, they're there. That makes sense then. Instead of the old us that was like, everyone's in Philly. Why are we going to go in Philly? But
Oh, yeah. I've heard this also before from somebody else in the program too, because they were like, everybody's in Indiana, Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore. Like there are like these 6 or 7 areas that have a big concentration of investors in the community. So I'm going to do something different. And so they go, and it works too. Like for some people, it's fine.
So many people to lean on in Philly. So that's what it could have been done in Bethlehem or there, but it would have been just us, right?
Yeah, we wanted the community. We wanted to be a part of something, and we jumped in on the Philly group, the Philly train, and it was only an hour away. I'm like, it would be stupid not to. It works. Why not make it work for us?
Yeah. I have this issue too. I don't take the path of least resistance. So if I were to join this group today, I would probably see that all the investors are investing in these 6 to 10 top neighborhoods all over the country. I would first try to do something different. And then over the years, I've learned that about myself, and I would like coach myself out of it and say like, listen, like Matt's saying in the chat here, he's saying sometimes it's just easier to follow the money. Why not take the path of least resistance? I don't know why we don't do that. I think like the hustle wins sometimes. And that mindset makes us think like, if it's that easy, it must not be the right path.
We did have the business and we were starting, and it was really new when Icons was first started. That it started getting real. Like we started getting a couple of clients at one time.
Level up our business and not just do boots on the ground. We never were confident enough to do that. We didn't want to hold or bear the responsibility of doing that. And being in Icons, having those talks with you, with Nitty, Palak, Cheryl, all of them, it was Druva.
We were at a point in our business where the real estate, the portfolio program was taking care of that. Any question, any answer, and all the groups we started and belonged to, and that business part of it, contracts or just a safe place to talk about it, because our family, we can't, nothing bad about them, but we can't talk to them about anything like this. We needed a place to talk business or how to level up our business. And you know more than me what it helped contract. What did it help right away?
Yeah, just pulling the trigger and having the contractor work side by side with us and selling our services to the contractor, where we would be their point of contact, and they loved the idea.
And then I remember Vanessa got the opportunity. I wasn't in that call, and it was more about like, we're having an issue with contracts. Like, how do you write up a contract? What should I put in it? That was a big, right? That you spoke.
It was Icons Retreat that really leveled up.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was Icons Retreat.
Yeah, it was a safe place, but it was everyone in there was wanting to do a business because they want to invest in real estate. So it was the right place to move next. We don't want to stop learning. So the business needed help.
And we needed a startup, and Icons helped us start it up.
We needed a group to bounce ideas off of.
Accountability. We needed to know what other investors were doing with project management services, and they shared their experience on how we should structure our business. And that's how we basically laid it out, how others were experiencing in different cities with project management services.
Yes, that helped a lot.
Services. It was a lot of help. It was a lot of help from the group that you chose to be part of. That helped us build our business.
So if you're here and you're listening to this and you're like ready to up level, that's the right room for you to be in. And the goal isn't for Icons to have, thousands of people in it. We want to make sure that you guys, like when you acquire $1 million in assets, it's your chance to up level next. Like you need to build out that full wealth ecosystem and let's scale your businesses. And I love hearing that Anthony is now out of his W-2. Is that a logo of your business on your?
Okay, this is our 4 doors.
Oh, look at that. We got swag.
I don't want to get back up.
Tell us what 4 doors means.
We had no idea what to name the company. A lot of them, we wanted to do something with family because that's why I was leaving the W-2 to be home with them. So we tried a lot of them with taking, and 4 doors.
It's just the number of family members in our family.
It was a door for each one of us, and it sounded good, 4 doors, and that's how it kind of, Our LLC names are a little
fun. They love them. Our kids came up with them.
Our kids pick our LLC names, so we have a SmackDown LLC. We have some, it's fun to call up, and they ask you for your company name, and you're like, SmackDown LLC. So,
They're like, is that from
yeah.
Wrestling Brawl?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Monday Night Live. I'm like, yeah.
We had an investment that we had some extra cash, and that's why we wanted to buy a property or two. We had a chance to speak to Nidhi on a one-on-one, and we went over our plans and icons. You get that too. So we had the one-on-one, and it kind of pushed us to do it.
Like, again, you don't really sit down and write it unless you're, I don't want to say forced, or find a time block to do it. And to do with Nidhi and actually writing it down, I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, okay, this is amazing. Everything sounds awesome. Like, why don't we just do this on a regular basis?
Yes.
It's nice to get pulled in and do that and get held accountable for
Yeah,
it.
the Nidhi call one-on-one and the Danny call it helped a lot. And
Yeah.
it just gave us that little push to keep going. And we made
Yeah.
the purchases because of that phone call.
Yeah.
The timing of the weekly icons calls doesn't work for them. They just primarily work with us one-on-one, and then they'll come to the retreats.
Yeah.
And then specific trainings, they'll be like, okay, if there's something very specific, I'll pop in or I'll watch the recording. But otherwise, that alone can really, that's a very leveraged use of your time. And it's like after a certain level, you want to know, you really want very specific tweaks. And one tweak can be a difference of thousands of dollars, right? Like that's the leverage of time that we're talking about. So I love that you brought that up. Thank you for that. Anybody who's interested in your project management services,
I have a Calendly link on my website,
perfect. And what's the web address?
fourstoorsproperties.com. And yeah, that's the website. And they can connect us through Calendly link. And we can schedule a call and discuss our packages. Yeah, we added a new one. So we have
Some new info.
Yeah, so what all do you guys do? Just real quick for anyone who doesn't know about your services.
So we are your boots on the ground. We have a vetted contractor that will go out and give you an estimate and work on the project. We have an agent in-house that helps find the project.
we basically streamline the project and help you fix it with our vetted contractors. We streamline the project, the rehab while you're scaling your W-2 job, trying to get out of the grind.
So everything from the initial scope of work, we go through the scope of work with you, just tell you what you're getting and what you don't need and help with the price of the rehab. And then we show up and take pictures and videos and write reports of the ongoing progress. And now we have at the end of the project, there's a huge need for Section 8. So now we're adding a service that
we connect you with an in-house agent that is very familiar with the process to help you find your Section 8 tenants.
Vanessa teaches you what to do to sign up and do the class online, to get your licenses you need for that. And then we have the agent, which is good at vetting Section 8 tenants. And then with that, you also get boosted every day on the affordable housing portal. Your listing goes up to the top every day.
Nice.
So we have a lot of things going on with that.
And in-house
Amazing.
guy, yeah, that will be there on inspection day for Section 8.
At the end of your rehab, we have someone that shows up for the Section 8 inspection. And if anything is wrong that they want, it includes the minor repairs for that day. He'll do it right then.
Very good.
You hopefully get them
that's
fast,
awesome.
and
It's
you
a
don't have to
pain
come
point.
back. And then you could go wherever you want with it. But if you keep it, we've learned that from talking with you guys, keep it simple. And like this
Yep.
new package, we tested it because we did it and we're doing it. We didn't just throw it out there. So now we're learning how to fix things. Because
Yep.
we had 10 contracts. We made a contract. We had our first client and we changed it, I won't say 10, maybe 8 times within our
Yeah,
first.
it's evolving.
So it was a lot now we know how to step back and try to figure out the next thing to do.
What's taking up
Yeah.
a lot of time? What doesn't
Yeah.
need to
I
be.
think one of the biggest things that I've noticed a big change in you guys very recently is, since the very beginning, I'm really big on productizing a service. And I think now you guys have started looking at it in packages, and it makes everybody's life easier. And then people have to fit into your packages, which is great even for your clients because you can systematize it and then the expectations can be set upfront. So it's great for everyone. I love that you have done that. Awesome.
welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
guys. Bye, everyone. When you're ready to get serious, you can join us at theinvestoraccelerator.com.
It's like getting 1,000 episodes worth of information in 5 days, and it's everything you need to build your actionable plan to financial freedom and making work optional.